Welcome back to Under the Black Flag. My name is Travis Limoges. Thank you for tuning in. The plan for today was to continue down the path of providing definitions for terms that we will use in the series we're calling Dissecting the Machine. But as I have spent the past few weeks ruminating what's happening in the United States, I felt called to action, and I felt it necessary to raise my voice and share some truth. And so on today's episode, that's what we're going to do. So the reason I felt called to share this message today is because I'm agitated by what I'm watching happening in response to the forceful deportations and of the migrant working class that supported not just myself, but an entire industry, and the response of those in the industry feels uncomfortable. It feels uncomfortable that the industry leaders, chefs, restaurateurs, restaurant managers are choosing to wax poetic on social media about their stance in solidarity with the migrant workers who support their businesses, when for a very long time, since the inception of these industries, they have built their businesses on the exploitation of these folks' labor. Claiming solidarity and support through social media posts, Instagram, Twitter, and then returning to a machine that's fueled by inequality, and to me is an abominable practice, an abominable behavior. And it's something that I think needs to be addressed, and I question every day why in our industry we haven't taken the time to care for these folks, to provide safe spaces for them to find a way to legally enter the workforce. We have built systems that don't provide assistance in immigration, legal immigration. We don't provide health care for single mothers. We don't provide health care in general on the lower levels of the workforce, regardless of whether or not it's migrant work. And in my opinion, if we call ourselves the hospitality industry and we say that we're providing a safe place for people to come and nourish themselves, and we're putting so much effort into nourishing people who sit at our tables, why are we not doing the same for those who work with us on the front lines? Why are we not giving them the same sort of love and care that we provide for people on a daily basis when they sit down at our tables? This is not surprising to me, although it's very uncomfortable, because I have been part of this industry for a very long time, and I have watched the same neoliberal behavior across the board in the large majority of food service operations that I've worked in. I've sat in boardrooms at manager meetings and had discussions about how to affect the bottom line positively of the business. The conversation is never cut from the top to provide for the bottom or find a more equitable way to split the profit of the business. And in fact, I've sat in meetings where I've been told that I cannot give raises to migrant workers because they will not go any further than they are in this business. And I have extracted myself from those opportunities when I have felt that this is the reality. In addition, it feels wild in these weeks where we're in the midst of a humanitarian crisis, the likes of which we have not seen since segregation, to be throwing awards ceremonies and announcing lists of best in class while our frontline workers, those who provide us with safety and security inside our own lives, live in insecurity and work in insecurity on a daily basis, not knowing what their future may hold. Dressing up in suits and patting each other on the back is not what we should be doing right now. We should be sitting in rooms talking about how we create stability, how we create programs for equanimity, how we help those who help us. The truth is, the people with the power to make change in these industries refuse to do so. And they refuse to do so because it would compromise their comfort. A comfort that's not afforded to those who work for them. And the reality is, even just a small change, a small cut from the top to the bottom, would provide much security in the daily lives of those who provide us with sustenance. I know that this message will probably aggravate some. If you're hearing this message and you are not one of those people, understand that you can be part of change. You can be part of making change. You can be part of a future based on mutual aid. Because the reality is, this system will fail. In the same way that the capitalist regime is failing now because they can't help themselves but be indulgent and vain, because they can't extract themselves from their own personal image, because they feel that they're privileged, because they feel that they've earned it. We are all human beings, every single one of us, and every person in this system is as important as the next, from the bottom to the top. We need to find a way to come together. And in the meantime, instead of claiming solidarity through social media posts, take action. Recognize that the working class will rise, as they always do, and it may take time. This will all take time. But my call is for my peers to sober up and recognize that now is the time to take affirmative action. I hope that this message reaches you in solidarity, and I hope that it provides some insight into what's happening. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is an open format. If you like what you're hearing, there'll be more coming. If you don't, also comment, chime in, let me know what you think. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.